Chapter 9 Devon, Wednesday. Since lunch, I've been getting stares. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that the latest Aces blast is about me, but the question is, what about me? And why do I receive blasts about others only, and not myself? It's probably this quote unquote Aces person's twisted way of adding to the sick feeling in my stomach as much as they can. Hey, Richards! Some guy shouts as I walk down the hallway. I stop to look at him. He smirks before wrapping his arms around himself, kissing the air and making smooching noises. It's not even been a full week, and already senior year is sucking on a level I never imagined it could. Exiting the double doors of the school brings me a sense of peace, because at least now, the school day is over and I can go home. A hand grabs my arm and jerks me into an alley by the main school building. I'm thrown against a brick wall and I hiss, my back throbbing in several places as I collide with the rough surface. Do you want to get killed? Jack shouts. No. Then why the fuck is your fucking sex tape floating around the fucking school? My what? Oh my god. I might throw up. I can't breathe. My legs are shaking. My head is spinning. I need to find Scotty, I manage. I need to kill Scotty. A part of me wants to ask to see the video, see how bad it is, but I don't know if I can handle that. Jack says nothing. His face is scrunched up, and he's breathing hard. I don't know what it is about his expression, but it makes me feel like I should be ashamed of myself. Like I should feel dirty. Before he knew I was gay, Jack didn't look at me like that. He was the first person I told, back when we were still in middle school. Before I came out, life was us having each other's back, sleepovers and video games, while Ma was away at work, when we had no one but each other. Now it's this. Jack hating me for something I can't change. The both of us wishing things could go back to the way they were before I said those words. We stare at each other. I have to stop myself from apologizing, because what would I even be sorry for? Existing too loud? I break eye contact, pushing off the wall, my legs unsteady as I run back into the school, a place I'm starting to hate more than ever. Girls giggle when they see me, and I get it now. I get the mocking from earlier. It's all making sense. I'm so embarrassed. My sight blurs and I try to catch my breath, but I keep choking on air. I sniff, rushing forward, bursting into Crombie, high on adrenaline. I'm gonna kill Scotty. I jump onto the stage and tear through the curtain where the girl from Tuesday is sitting next to Scotty's slump figure, rubbing his back. His blue Letterman jacket is draped over the back of his chair. I try calming my breathing before I speak. Scotty, I say. No response. The girl looks at me with an annoyed expression plastered onto her semi-plastic face. Her nose, which I now notice is a little slanted, I assume from botched surgery, scrunches up at me. Scotty, she whispers, and he looks up and then looks away. My career is probably over, Scotty says. My chest is still heaving. All the successful people these days have sex tapes. This is a step in your favor, says the girl. I want to hit her. Scotty nods. True. I want to hit him. Scotty, I say again. Can't you see this is hard for him? The girl tells me. I want to laugh. Hard for him? He's the one who made the video, and he was the only one who had that video. You're barely in the video, and Scotty said he deleted it. Besides, do you know how easy it is to hack into anyone's cloud? She huffs. What? I say, because I'm so confused. What the fuck is she going on about? I don't care if I'm barely in it. The fact that I am, and everyone saw it. I scrunch that thought up like it's written on a mental sheet of paper. If this gets back home, if Ma sees this, she's gonna be so disappointed in me. She'll see me differently. And Dre, he said, well, I mean, I guess everyone knows it was you because we heard your voice and Scotty says your name. You guys are pretty vocal. I know it's you doing this, Scotty. I say, face burning. I know it's you sending the messages, leaking stuff. Scotty stares at me, blonde hair messy and covering his eyes as a smile slowly appears on his lips. The girl next to him watches us hungrily. You think I'm Aces? He asks, feigning offense. He's the only person I could think of with the motive to hurt me and maybe even Shamaka. We both dumped him. It makes sense. You and I aren't friends anymore, and you're the only one who could have sent out that video. His smile falters a little. I must be imagining it, because surely someone as self-assured as Scotty couldn't care less about what I think of him. That's right, we aren't friends, or anything else close to that, so why would I waste my time? Why bother with someone no one here cares about? Chiamaka, maybe. People actually want to read about her. But why would I bother with you? What would I get out of that? He asks. There's a tiny pang as his words hit me. Scotty looks down at his lap, pulling his phone out of his pocket and scrolling like I'm not here anymore. I used to be able to tell when Scotty was lying. When we were dating, I'd always get this twisting feeling in my gut, something telling me he wasn't being 100% honest. When he'd admit to cheating on me, what would hurt me most was the fact that I'd known deep down he wasn't being truthful. He'd confess, I'd cry, we'd kiss and make up. Until the day I broke the cycle and finally stopped letting myself be treated like that. Now, though, I can't tell. There's no twisting in my gut, nothing to tell me whether he means it, whether he had anything to do with this. Could you go now? I told you I don't have any pictures or videos, so you have your answer. I'm not Aces. Laura and I are busy. I haven't got the time to be speaking to nobodies. Scotty's words hit again. He knows just how to use them, repeating back to me the fears I fed him while lying in his bed, in his arms, vulnerable but safe. He uses his words instead of his fists, something I'm not as familiar with. Where I come from, words are nothing and actions are everything. I know hurting me is something Scotty wants to do, because even though we haven't spoken properly in a while, I knew it hurt him that I stopped letting him get away with crap, like cheating on me and then lying about it. I know that because he also whispered dark monologues to me, about his fears and weaknesses, about how his family sees him as this huge fuck-up who will never amount to anything, about how lost he constantly feels. Something we had in common, despite the different worlds we come from. The difference between him and me, however, is that I would never use his words to hurt him. I watch him with a quiet disbelief. I know Scotty is a terrible person, so why am I so shocked? Why am I always shocked by people and their shitty behavior? I blink back the tears that want to escape. I feel stuck. I wanted Scotty to be Aces. His motive is so clear. He's the only connection I have to Chiamaka, and we're the only people Aces has talked about so far. If it was him, it would be so much easier to stop anything else coming out. I can't imagine why anyone else would do this. I barely speak to people at school. But maybe there is someone out there with a reason to want to hurt me. A good reason. I get this feeling sometimes that I'm forgetting stuff. Important stuff. It's like there's something in my memory that I can't quite focus on. My brain just goes fuzzy. Maybe whoever I hurt is lost in my messy sea of thoughts and memories. Scotty, I start, wanting so bad to tell him how glad I am now that I don't have to see his face all the time, or trust someone who is a compulsive liar, or feel that anxiety I used to feel that he was going to tell me something like, I'm sorry I did it. It won't happen again. I love you, Ron. Direct quote, FYI. But I don't, because I'm not that person. He is. I squeeze my eyes shut now, pushing away the fears that won't stop intruding, of what people might think of me, what Mom might think of me, hating myself for being with him for that long. I was so stupid, not realizing Scotty was a dick way sooner. I think I'll spend the rest of my life judging myself for ever thinking Scotty was even remotely attractive. Fuck you, I said instead, before turning around, ignoring his loud response. You already did! I leave Crombie, leave the building, leave the gates, and go back to safety, where there's no Aces, no Scotty, no Jack, no annoying girls with crooked noses, no memories that hurt to think about. How was school? Ma asks as I take potatoes and chicken out of the oven. I can barely hear over the noise from my little brothers. Elijah is singing some song he learned at school, and James is yelling at Eli to stop. Ma's question replays in my mind. I think about her finding out, remembering the time this girl in my neighborhood came out. I remember Ma telling me how her family kicked her out. Ma had looked disgusted, muttering, I just don't understand. And I remember thinking that she would never understand me either. I think about it and how this week has been so shit and how I hate school and never want to go back. But then I look at my mom, how tired she looks, how she'll be going out later for her night job, just so that we can live in this dump and I can go to a fancy school. Everything's good, Ma. Perfect. I say as I turn back, dishing the potatoes and chicken onto mismatched plates. Everything's good. Perfect.